Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher Realms. Guys, we have a big summoning event coming up this weekend on November 15th. The question is, should you summon? Well, that's what we're covering in this video. So without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so should you summon? We have the crazy invocation spirits, the crazy divine summonings, the special divine summonings, and the special invocation of spirits. Specials are basically just a 15x banners. You want to try to go for certain heroes. We also have a special ancient summoning coming up this weekend as well. Alright, so starting with the two crazy summoning events, the crazy divine and crazy invocation. Basically what this is a 2x chance to get a legendary hero. At this point in time, I'm suggesting to hold off on these banners. If you are kind of low on summoning crystals, I do suggest holding in general for this weekend, but that could depend on a lot of things in your account, which we're about to go through in a minute. But stay off of the 2x banners for now. Alright, so moving on to the special invocation of spirits and the special divine summonings. During this event, the designated hero will enjoy a 15x drop rate. So the heroes that they have on the grand prize is going to be Elowyn, Magmus, Zira, Aatrox, and Navras. For the epics, you're not really looking at anything too special. Navras is a permanent fusion. Aatrox is pretty easy to pull, and Tazera is not something people are usually looking for. Now, as for Magmus, Magmus is a pretty good unit. He's very useful. Pretty much, I think the only thing I can really think of that I would use him a lot in is going to be Gear Dungeon 2. On the left side there, he's really good at handling those Volca clones coming over. Other than that, he's not too crazy in my opinion, although he can be very useful. And then even though he has really high ratings on these, I would definitely suggest bringing other units along if you can. If you do have him and that's what you're kind of limited with, then he's really good at it. But there is definitely better heroes for doing pretty much everything on his list here. Now, I do not suggest trying to burn out your summoning crystals to get yourself a Magmus, but he is on the banner, and he is on a good banner with Elowyn. Now, Elowyn, literally one of the best heroes in the game. If you do not have an Elowyn, there isn't a hero in the game that you can pull that can be more game-changing to you. I guarantee it. She has the ability to generate rage for all allies just for being on the field. This is global. This isn't something that where she has to be in range of them or anything like that. It's going to be 3% rage for every 3 seconds for all allies. That is insane just for her being there. She basically does the same thing as Hollow, but Hollow's limited to what's in her range, and Hollow doesn't do quite as good either. So she also has the Wood Elf. This gives her global healing in a sense. If you have a hero that's way off side of her where she can't reach him, you can just go ahead and drop a Wood Elf over there next to him as a ground unit, and that Wood Elf will heal that tile and every tile around it. I mean, this is super useful. I can't really think of a bad thing to say about it. It does have a timer or a cooldown on it, so every 40 seconds you'll get yourself a Wood Elf, but that doesn't change the fact that it can really come in clutch quite often. I use the Wood Elf all the time on my account. Now, as for her healing, it is grants attack based healing to 3 allies in range. It has a pretty nice multiplier. It heals right around, if you build her right, 18 to 25k, somewhere in that range, depending on what your main focus is, which should be speed, but it does a really good job healing. She has a very unique range as a base attack. The heal heals all the way around her, one adjacent tile, and then forward one further in front of her. But that is not the main part of her kit. The main part of her kit is going to be on her ultimate. Grace of Nature heals all allies in range for 40% base healing, every second lasting for 10 seconds. The first healing will dispel debuffs from all allies in range. That last sentence there is so crucial. She is the best dispel hero in the game, combined with her heals, her Wood Elf, her Rage Regen, everything packed into one unit. So to put this very simply, if you don't have Elowyn, you should be trying to summon this weekend. Even with all the cool heroes projected to be coming in the near future, I still suggest that you try to pick up an Elowyn. Now, if you do have an Elowyn, maybe if you're endgame or something along those lines, I do suggest only trying to maybe get a copy of her if you're close to pity, and maybe you can go ahead and just burn that pity trying to get a copy if she's awakened 2 right now. And the reason for that is that her awakening level 3 is very important for Guild Boss 2, Apocalypse 2, because she has a 20% chance to dispel debuffs from allies when she does a heal on them. And this is really important for Semra, especially in the end game, if you're struggling with that Titan's Drake phase where the poisons are coming out. What she can do is do an AoE cleanse of all the heroes on the team, and then she has to go through a whole phase before she can actually cleanse again, so you have to take 2 stacks of poisons. Well, if you have Elowyn at Awaken level 3, she has that 20% chance every time she heals one of those guys that are poisoned in between those 2 rounds that she can cleanse off that debuff and make it a lot easier on your team to survive through that Titan's Drake phase. It is game changing, but literally only for Semra and maybe the current new final boss in campaign chapter 10. But that covers your diamond summons and your rare summoning crystals and your divines. Try to get yourself an Elowyn if you don't have her. If yours is Awaken 2 and you're more endgame and you stack up quite a few summoning crystals, go ahead and try to get her to Awaken 3. It's not going to hurt you. Right now, on to the special ancient summoning. Pass. I know. I just don't think that even with Torador or Pelagios or whoever's on there, I just don't think that you should be summoning any of your ancient summoning crystals. This will probably be from now until forever, unless Ingrid, Praetus, or Valderon are going to be on the 15x drop rate. Now, if you're just really a big fan of Torador, you can do whatever you like, but I'm just saying that as an endgame player, I wish I would have never burned any of my ancient summoning crystals outside of a 15x drop rate for Praetus, Ingrid, or Valderon. Even though I use Torador every day in Guild Boss 1 and every week in Guild Boss 2, I could just put a Wrath in there. Like, I mean, he's not really a main feature on the teams. He's just kind of hanging out, sitting back, and increasing everybody's damage a little bit, which is far beyond what it needs to be already. So bringing a Torador or a Wrath isn't going to make that big of a difference for me. So I guess my point is that even though he seems very appealing, it's not going to be that game-changing for you versus a Praetus, Ingrid, or Valderon. And thus, I suggest you wait for those types of banners to come up before you ever burn your ancients. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, concerns, need help with stage guides, takeovers, hero guides, whatever, make sure you join the Discord. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep digging.